What you're hearing are the reactions of the participants of the Million Moms March. We're here at the National Mall in Washington, D.C. for this historic event. I'm Christina Perry, your community news reporter. Today we've heard various messages and speeches from so many people, celebrities included. Rosie O'Donnell is the mistress of ceremonies here at this event. We heard Melissa Manchester sing a song which is called A Mother's Prayer, which was written the day after the Columbine shootings. We had children's songster Rafi, and he performed his song and music, and the whole audience participated in the song This Little Light of Mine. And as they raised their fingers, saying, letting it shine, they want to shine and to take out the death and destruction that has been caused by handguns in this country.
Don't mess with us. We are here. I will say again and again, don't mess with us.
This is a familiar speech that has been heard and echoed today, and unfortunately many days.
All of you out there,
of a parent who had to lose their child, to see their loved one shot, injured, or killed due to gun violence. And this here is the gathering of many moms here around the country, and there are 73 other marches going on currently today, simultaneously, along with the one here in Washington, D.C. So this is a nationwide event. I understand there are events also going in other parts of the world. So this is something that will not, unfortunately, probably be the only or the last march, but this is a start to make people open up their eyes and see that moms have a significant power. Moms have been the rulers of the world since time began, and moms will be the ones to set forth in changing gun control policy. This is Christina Perry reporting from Washington, D.C. for BBC TV.
Honoring the loved ones. When the doctor told me that my son would most likely not live through the night, I couldn't believe that I would lose the two most precious things in my life. But somewhere during the morning, my son opened his eyes, and only as a mother knows, I knew my son was going to live. But I also knew something about what was inside me as a mother and as a nurse. I was not going to allow my son to die. We worked so long and hard, and Kevin has come so far. His spirits are back. He's gotten married, and now not only just a mother, I am a grandmother. But there's one thing that all the victims here have always said. We got involved because we did not want to see any other family go through what we have gone through. But today, look at all of you. I join you today on this special Mother's Day to tell Congress, to tell America, to tell anyone and everyone who will listen. We are doing everything we can to protect our children. You must do the same. Now you're going to go home and you're going to talk to your legislators, and you're going to vote for those people that stand up for the safer country for all of us.
Give a warm welcome to Susan Sarandon. I'd also like to mention the name of some other people that are here that aren't going to speak today, that join with you. Suzanne Douglas, Patty Smythe, Phoebe Snow, Taffy Danoff, Bette Midler, Linda Carter, Melissa Manchester, Roseanne Cash, Steve Buscemi. That's pretty brave to be a guy up here with all this estrogen, Steve, thank you. Steve Buscemi, Cheetah Rivera, Debbie Allen, and the Los Angeles Contention. Of mothering. Our world is too big and too dangerous to leave that job only to those of us who have given birth or who are raising children. Mothering means taking care of, protecting. We must protect all our children from the violence that threatens them. That means the abandonment and inequality that for the longest time has made poor neighborhoods, primarily neighborhoods of color, war zones where children regularly dodge gunfire. Because there isn't adequate daycare, because there aren't enough jobs, good jobs, because the schools aren't meeting the needs of the families, because of racism and economic inequality. We must protect our children from the abandonment and forgetfulness that leaves young people all over this country out on the brink with no sense of the difference between life and death, right and wrong, with no sense of purpose or possibility or responsibility, with no community. We need to build and understand community to protect our children. Have been killing children for a long time in this country. And while we must, and I mean must, organize and pass legislation that limits access in the same way that we work to reduce missiles, we also must, and I mean must, look at who is in danger and what we can do as mothers to this great country to take care of all of our children. As mothers, historically, we have never stood still while our children are in danger. The mothers of the disappeared started a worldwide movement for human rights. Women Strike Peace helped stop the Vietnam War. It was a mother, Lois Gibbs, who led the fight against Love Canal, the violence of toxic waste. Mothers all over America, especially mothers of color whose children have been most at risk, have stood together to say no to police violence. And it was mothers who have led a successful campaign against drunk drivers. Now we join them in this historic opportunity to make real change that can save lives, to navigate with our mothers' voices. And we need to get practical. I call upon us all to go back home and work in our communities, join with the mothers and all who know how to act like mothers, to beat the gun lobby and stand up for the safety of all of our children, and work together to change the conditions that make guns an option for our youth. An estimated 32,000 people will die from gunfire in the United States next year. Let us rearrange that number. We are all going to vote. We're going to write letters, write checks, hold town meetings, march, go to schools, churches, mosques, synagogues, tell our husbands, our friends, our daughters, our cousins, our parents, it is time to get involved. Watch out, we are pissed off. Happy Mother's Day.
people were not here, but the fact is there are 750,000 people. A 9-year-old from Camden, New Jersey, she captured the heart of the nation when she visited Columbine after the shooting and talked to students there. She's been on the Oprah Winfrey Show. She's met with the president. She's here today. Please welcome Ms. Cecily Renee Cooney.
Okay, now y'all ready? Now repeat after me. Say stop the violence. Say stop the violence. Say put the guns down. Say put the guns down. Say children are the future. Say children are the future. Say more accessible gun laws. More accessible gun laws. Thank you. Woo! Million Mile March is in the house. Woo! Please give me 1 second. I first would like to extend my blessing and thanks to the Camden Education Association, the New Jersey Education Association, the National Education Association, and the Million Mile March for giving me this blessed opportunity. To God be the glory. Hello, my name is Cecily Cooney, and I'm Miss National Stop the Violence American Queen for the United States of America. I'm 9 years old, and I'm in the 4th grade at Coopers Point Professional Development Elementary School in Camden, New Jersey. Take a long look at me. What do you see? A little girl with a bright future. See? I don't think that you understand and recognize the true meaning of this march. Understand this. 2,550 young people were killed by gunfire in 1998. All were under the age of 22. Gun homicide was the leading cause of death for young people under the age of 22 in 1998, per the FBI Uniform Crime Report. See, something is really wrong. Our children are dying and parents are crying. Tell me, how can someone abuse or hurt or even kill an innocent child like me? Teach us and help us to be leaders, not children who think using guns is the solution to handle playground disputes, or children who take guns to school to kill. While many close-minded adults sit back and say, look at this, it is a shame, that will never happen here. If it can happen in Littleton, Colorado, then it can happen anywhere. Hate can kill. Money, honor, being a celebrity, political affiliation, power, where or how you live, being rich or poor, has never stopped a bullet from killing a person or someone's loved one. Remember
I'm 9 years old, and in Michigan, a 6-year-old boy killed another 6-year-old girl in school. Hey, wait! I'm only 3 years older than both. So this tells me that guns are easily accessible, like buying candy at the candy store. We need a national licensing and registration policy. Congress. So children and people who don't need guns won't have them. And yes, President Clinton, I heard you loud and clear. We do need trigger locks on guns. I stand strongly by your side, Mr. President. Keep fighting for America's children and more sensible gun laws. So one day, I may become the next Miss America, the next lawyer, the next doctor, the next senator, the next congresswoman, or the next president of the United States of America. God bless you. Thank you for working towards a nonviolent America and world. Wait a minute. Put the guns down. Did you hear me? Put the guns down. I'ma say it one more time. Put the guns down. Did you hear me? Put the guns down. Stop the violence and save our children. I hope you have gotten the point. You have encouraged me, and thank you for all the things you have done. We all are so sorry that violence has taken the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., President John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, Civil Rights Leader Mahatma Gandhi, Civil Rights Leader Medgar Evers, Ennis Cosby, the son of Dr. Bill and Camille Cosby, and Michael Jordan's father, Mr. James R. Jordan. And to all the children in urban, rural, and suburban America that have lost their lives to violence. If we continue to ignore the importance of gun violence as well as any other types of violence, our poisonous behavior has come back to do us in. Children are dying. If we do not fix this problem, not with the Band-Aid, there will be a festering wound laid open on this nation. Justice for America's children. We need to be healed. President John F. Kennedy once said after the shooting death of civil rights leader Medgar Evers, we face a moral crisis as a country and as a people. Those who do nothing are inviting shame as well as violence. Those who act boldly are recognizing rights as well as reality. May God have a blessing upon these words. Thanks and God bless. I love America and America's moms. And happy Mother's Day to all the moms, especially to my mom, Stephanie R. Combs.
You just signed a 3-picture deal during this speech.
And now, I'm going to say a poem called Calling All Women by Ruby Dee from her book, My One Good Nurse. Calling all women. Calling all sisters. Calling all righteous sisters. Calling all women. To steal away to our secret place. Have the meeting face to face. Look at the facts and determine our pace. Calling all women. We want to reach first and second and third world women. Come together, women in and out of the power structure. Working women, welfare women, women who feel alienated and isolated, women who are all frustrated, who have given up. Women, questioning women, polarized and unorganized, ostracized, tired of being penalized. come help us start to bridge the gap. Racial, cultural, or generation, we want action and veneration. These men, they just ain't doing it. They've had hundreds of years, now they about to rule. Kitchen, office, ex-prison women, singing, dancing, diapering women, old and young and middle-aged women, make this thing. Oh yes, and bring a lunch.
Thank you. Let's have a hand for her. Let's have a great What an excellent speaker. She can take over my show in a few years, I'm sure. Dr. Antonia Novello is the Commissioner of Health for the state of New York. She heads one of the leading public health agencies in the nation. She previously served as the 14th Surgeon General of the U.S. Health Service. Her appointment marks her the first woman and the first Hispanic ever to hold this position. We're very proud to welcome her today, Dr. Antonia Novello.
Buenas tardes. Feliz Día de las Madres. It's always very hard to follow a good speaker, but to follow that one is not fair. But I can always say, women of quality do not fear women who seek equality. So God bless that kid, because that kid is going to represent us in the future. Now, this mall has seen many marches. Marches against hate, marches against injustice, but never a march like this one. A march on Mother's Day against the epidemic of gun violence in this country. I can tell you that Martin Luther King said it best when he said, "The measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at the times of challenge and controversy." I think this country is in a moment of challenge and controversy. When a mother sees her 6-year-old daughter shot by a classmate in a pool of blood. When a mother sees her child shot before they go into the zoo. Where a mother sees her adolescent child jumping from the window in Columbine High School. When a mother sees her son commit suicide out of despair. It has been said that one death is a tragedy and 1 million deaths, it is a statistic. Are we pointing to a flaw in the human condition? Our frightening capacity to distance ourselves from human misery? Or are we using a sacred weapon, the weapon of numbers and the weapon of statistics, weapons that numb us and keep us in a state of denial? I think the time has come to put the faces behind the numbers and the people behind the statistics, because after all, statistics do not bleed, and we have to talk for the children who do. The reality is, in this country, too many families have been torn apart. Too many people's lives have been cut short, and too many mothers are tired of visiting cemeteries. When I was Surgeon General, I really used to say, the world owes you nothing. And after seeing the faces of the mothers this morning and the children in Columbine, I can tell you, yes, the world owes us something. The world owes a place where my kid can feel safe in playing. A place where my kid goes in a playground, not in a battleground. A place where violence is not seen as the preferred conventional way of dealing with conflict. A place where the child can reach for a hand and not for a gun. A place where sensible gun laws are not the political issue of left or right, but just plain right. A place where there's no flaunting the constitutional rights of some at the expense of others, and a place where the word liberty, life, and the pursuit of happiness is more than a word in a document, and is to protect the children who have died, whom we are honoring today. I can tell you, the reality is that guns have found a way in the hands of our children. And as we look the other way, our children are settling conflict with an exchange of gunfire instead of an exchange of words. And while we ponder on what to do, children are being killed, and mothers are asking why. Mother asked me, why do we put locks on doors and cannot put locks on guns? Mother asked me, how can an 18-year-old buy a gun and still not be old enough to buy a beer? Mother asked me, why can there be a time to buy a gun and not a time to wait? I can tell you that it has been said, Justice will return to Athens when the time that those who are not injured are as innocent as those who are. I'm afraid I don't have the answer to your questions, but I can tell you that the time has come to serve the world. We are tired and we are not going to take it anymore. It has been said that if you have to take the measure of a nation, the only thing you have to watch is the way they treat their children. And I'm afraid we are forgetting about the children, and in doing so we are forgetting about the memory of those who died, which presence you honor here today. I can tell you, we cannot bring your children back, but we absolutely have the right and the power to protect the lives of those who stay behind. So I ask every congresswoman, every congressman out there, every senator to do everything. The great Holocaust historian who said it best, there are 3 extra commandments. The first one is thou shalt not be a victim. The second one is thou shalt not be a perpetrator. And the third one is thou shalt not be a bystander. So in the life of all the children of this world, let them be bystanders. Thank you and God
Thank you for staying with us. This is BBC Caribbean Body Talk. I'm Christina Perry, your community reporter, and we're here in Washington, D.C. at the Million Moms March. We just had some very stirring speeches, one from a 9-year-old girl, Cecily Cooney, who is currently a student at the Professional Developmental School in Camden, New Jersey. She gave a rousing speech, speaking from a perspective of a child, but with the eloquence of an adult, about the need to have gun control to stop the violence that is killing 12 children every day. We also heard from Dr. Antonio Novella, former